They say successful people make the most of every minute of the day, meticulously planning, optimizing, and executing. They wake early, track their progress like a Wall Street analyst tracks stocks, and seemingly bend time to their will. You see the hustle culture celebrated in every corner of America, from the Silicon Valley startup guru to the small-town entrepreneur, constantly pushing, always moving. But what if, in this relentless pursuit of external achievement, we've been missing the most critical minutes of all? What if the more you desperately try to control every external second, the less you truly master the minutes that matter most, the ones spent navigating the landscape of your own mind? It's a quiet paradox, isn't it? We meticulously manage our calendars, our finances, our fitness routines, yet often leave our inner world to chance, to reaction, to the whims of old, unresolved narratives. This isn't about manipulation or a clever trick to win someone back. It's about a deeper, more profound form of success that begins not with a new app, but with a new awareness. Today, you're going to feel a clarity you haven't known, understand the invisible chains that might be holding you back, and begin a journey to truly reclaim your emotional power, transforming every minute into a step towards genuine fulfillment. For decades, the principles explored in Dale Carnegie life lessons have illuminated paths to influence, achievement, and a more engaged life. But the most profound influence you can wield isn't over others. It's over the silent, often chaotic echoes within yourself. It's about understanding the subtle yet powerful psychological mechanism that keeps us replaying old patterns, drawing us back to familiar emotional territories, even when they no longer serve us. This isn't about blaming the past, but about understanding how the past, if left unexamined, continues to dictate your present minute by minute, decision by decision. If you're ready to turn that key, to unlock a different kind of success, one rooted in inner mastery and an unshakable sense of self, then take a moment now, like this video, subscribe to Dale Carnegie Life Lessons, and hit that notification bell. It's a small act of reciprocity, a silent agreement that you're open to receiving the kind of insights that truly shift your perspective, the kind that help you make the most of every single minute, not just externally, but from the inside out. We're going to journey through the subtle signs that you might be caught in this loop, the common errors almost everyone makes, and the precise turning point that awaits you. By the end, you'll receive a powerful declaration, a statement of intent, and a simple yet profound ritual, revealed only in the final moments, that can change everything about how you experience your days. It's a path to inner peace, a clearer understanding of your true desires, unclouded by the projections and idealizations of yesterday. There's a quiet strength waiting for you, a way to build a foundation of self so solid, so unshakable, that external validation becomes a bonus, not a necessity. The real question is, are you willing to look within? Because that's where the most valuable minutes are truly spent. The unseen force that often dictates those precious minutes isn't some external pressure, but a subtle, almost invisible mechanism operating within us. It's a loop, the pattern. A default setting that keeps us replaying scenarios and emotions, even when we consciously crave something new. Think of it like a seasoned traveler in a classic American road trip movie, driving the same familiar route year after year, expecting a different destination just by closing their eyes, or a digital assistant stuck on a playlist of old hits, refusing to introduce anything fresh. This isn't about failing to plan your day. It's about failing to plan your inner day, allowing old echoes to dominate your present. We call this phenomenon the echo chamber effect. It's the silent agreement you make with your past, unconsciously allowing its narrative to dictate your current choices, your emotional responses, and even your perception of reality. You might see it in the young professional in Boston who keeps accepting the same kind of demanding, unfulfilling roles, always hoping this time it will be different, only to find themselves burnt out and overlooked, just like the last 3 jobs. Or the artist in Austin, who consistently gravitates towards partners who mirror the same emotional unavailability they experienced in their youth. Despite yearning for a deep, stable connection, it's not a lack of effort, but a fundamental misunderstanding of where the effort truly needs to be directed. These are not failures of ambition, but echoes of an unresolved past, subtly shaping the minutes of their present. How do you know if you're caught in this loop? The signs are often quiet, almost imperceptible at first, like the low hum of a refrigerator you only notice when it stops. One of the clearest indicators is what we might call the familiar discomfort. This isn't dramatic pain, but a recurring sense of unease, a persistent background hum of dissatisfaction that feels normal. You might find yourself saying, "Here we go again," when a certain type of conflict arises at work, or feeling a familiar emptiness after achieving a goal you thought would bring lasting joy. It's that feeling of déjà vu in your emotions, a sense that you've walked this path before and it didn't lead anywhere truly fulfilling. For today, your micro-action is simply to notice it. When that familiar discomfort surfaces, just observe it without judgment. Don't try to fix it. Just acknowledge its presence. Then there's the ghost of expectations past. This is the subtle insistence on holding on to an idealized version of how things should be. Often rooted in childhood dreams, cultural narratives like the perfect suburban family, or even a romanticized memory of a past relationship. You might find yourself constantly comparing your current reality to a highlight reel that never quite existed, or to a future that feels perpetually out of reach because it's based on an old script. It's the constant longing for a what-if that prevents you from fully engaging with the what is. It manifests as a quiet resentment towards the present, a feeling that life isn't living up to its promise. Today, identify one expectation you're carrying that feels heavy, a burden rather than a beacon. Ask yourself, truly, if this expectation serves your highest self now, or if it's an echo from a story you're no longer meant to tell. Finally, consider the compulsion for external validation. In a culture that often celebrates outward achievement and public recognition, it's easy to fall into the trap of letting your sense of worth be dictated by applause, likes, or approval from others. This isn't about enjoying recognition. It's about needing it to feel whole. You might find yourself overextending yourself to please others, or shrinking from opportunities out of fear of criticism, or constantly checking your phone for social media engagement, all because your inner compass of self-worth is pointing outwards. This need keeps you perpetually reacting rather than consciously choosing. For your micro-action today, before you seek external praise or reassurance for something you've done, pause. Take a moment to give yourself credit, to acknowledge your own effort, your own small victories, even if no one else sees them. That quiet internal validation is a powerful shift. Each of these signs is a whisper from the echo chamber effect, telling you that you're investing your minutes in a narrative that isn't truly yours. But understanding these whispers is just the first step. There's a deeper layer to this, a powerful reframe that shows why the common strategies fail and how you can truly break free. I'll show you how to identify that turning point. But first, I want to hear from you. If any of these signs resonated, if you felt a flicker of recognition, type clarity in the comments below. I read every single one, and the best insights often come from moments like these. Remember, the most profound shift, the anchor phrase, and the powerful ritual that can change everything are waiting for you at the very end of this journey. Understanding these whispers is crucial, but it's only the surface. The real challenge, and the reason so many conventional approaches to success fall short, especially here in America, lies in a fundamental misunderstanding of our own internal landscape. We're taught to hustle, to grind, to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, to outwork everyone else. From the relentless pace of a New York City trading floor to the quiet ambition of a small-town entrepreneur, the message is clear. External action dictates results. We fill our days with meetings, our nights with side projects, our weekends with networking events, believing that sheer force of will can overcome any obstacle, including those within ourselves. But this relentless external focus often blinds us to the subtle, yet powerful internal forces that are truly shaping our minutes. The common strategy fails because it's like trying to navigate a dense fog with a high-beam flashlight pointed at the sky, ignoring the road right in front of you. You're illuminating everything around the problem, but not the root cause itself. You can optimize your calendar, learn every productivity hack, and still find yourself repeating the same emotional patterns, making the same self-sabotaging decisions, and feeling that familiar, quiet dissatisfaction. This isn't a flaw in your ambition, it's a flaw in the direction of your effort. You're trying to fix an internal echo with external noise. The echo chamber effect persists precisely because we're so busy doing that we forget to be, to simply observe the emotional energy we are truly investing. Here's the reframe. True success, the kind that Dale Carnegie spoke of in terms of influence and genuine engagement, isn't just about maximizing external output. It's about optimizing your internal input. It's about consciously choosing the emotional energy you bring to each minute, rather than letting the echoes of yesterday choose for you. Imagine a seasoned jazz musician in New Orleans. They don't just play notes, they feel the rhythm, the emotional landscape of the music, and respond authentically. They don't just react to the other players, they contribute to the collective flow. That's the kind of internal mastery we're talking about. When you understand the echo chamber effect, you realize that your most valuable minutes aren't just those spent on tasks, but those spent in conscious awareness of your own emotional terrain. Consider Maria, a dynamic marketing executive in Chicago. For years, she chased promotions, accolades, and the perfect downtown apartment, always feeling a step behind, always pushing harder. She'd ace a presentation only to feel a fleeting sense of relief, quickly replaced by anxiety about the next challenge. She would find herself in relationships that felt exciting but ultimately left her feeling unseen, mirroring a dynamic she'd experienced in her childhood. She was living a life of constant reaction, driven by the need for external validation, a clear sign of the echo chamber effect. One day, exhausted and on the brink of burnout, she simply paused. She stopped trying to do more and started trying to understand more. She began to observe her own emotional triggers, the subtle ways her past was dictating her present. Her turning point wasn't a grand gesture, but a quiet, internal micro-decision. Instead of immediately reacting to a critical email from her boss, she took 5 minutes to acknowledge the familiar sting, the old echo of feeling inadequate. She didn't try to suppress it or fight it. She just observed it, like watching a cloud pass by. In that small pause, she realized the sting wasn't about the email itself, but about an old story of needing to be perfect. This allowed her to respond from a place of clarity, addressing the content of the email professionally, rather than reacting emotionally to the perceived threat to her self-worth. It was a subtle shift, but profound. She began to ask herself, what emotional energy am I investing right now, and is it serving my highest self? This isn't about solving problems in the moment. It's about building awareness, much like a successful person reviews their daily agenda. It's a simple micro-tool for today. When you feel that familiar pull of an old pattern, whether it's the need for external validation or the ghost of an old expectation, just pause. For 1 minute, Simply observe your emotional landscape without judgment. Ask yourself quietly, what emotional energy am I investing today? And is it truly serving me? This isn't about manipulation or a clever trick. It's about breaking the unconscious patterns of the compulsion to repeat, allowing you to choose consciously rather than react instinctively. This gradual shift towards inner peace and a clearer understanding of your true desires, unclouded by past projections, is the real game changer. But there's a specific, powerful ritual, along with an anchor phrase, that can solidify this shift and truly transform your daily experience. It's waiting for you, but are you ready to truly step out of the shadows of yesterday and into the light of your own making? There's more to uncover about how to protect that inner peace. That inner peace isn't just a nice to have, it's the bedrock of any genuine, lasting success. Without it, you're constantly battling an invisible current, much like trying to row a boat against a strong tide in the Atlantic. You exert tremendous effort, burn through your energy, and yet find yourself drifting back to the same familiar shores, the same old emotional patterns. This is the subtle, insidious cost of letting the echo chamber effect run unchecked. It drains your emotional reserves, distorts your perception, and leaves you feeling perpetually unfulfilled, even when by all outward appearances, you've hit the American dream jackpot. Think of it this way. You can have the fastest car on the highway, a gleaming muscle car built for speed. But if your internal GPS is constantly rerouting you to a destination you've already outgrown, or worse, to a place that never truly served you, then all that power is wasted. It's not just about lost minutes on the clock. It's about lost moments of authentic living. Moments where you could be truly present, genuinely connected, and making choices from a place of clarity and strength. Instead, you're reacting, replaying, and inadvertently reinforcing the very narratives you desperately want to escape. This isn't about blaming you for feeling this way. It's about recognizing that, in a culture that often equates busyness with worth and external accolades with happiness, we've been subtly conditioned to look everywhere but within for our answers. We chase the next promotion, the next big purchase, the next validation from a friend or a follower, convinced that that will finally silence the echoes. But those external achievements, while momentarily satisfying, are like putting a Band-Aid on a deeper wound. They don't address the root cause, which is the unconscious compulsion to repeat, the default setting of the echo chamber effect that keeps pulling you back. The truth, a brutal but elegant one, is that the path to true freedom and lasting peace isn't found in doing more, but in being more. It's found in intentionally choosing where you invest your emotional energy, minute by minute, rather than letting old stories dictate your present. This isn't a complex psychological theory. It's a practical, actionable shift in your daily operating system. It's the difference between being a passenger in your own life, buffeted by old winds, and becoming the conscious captain of your ship, navigating with purpose and intention. Maria's small pause, that single minute of observation, wasn't just a moment of introspection. It was a micro-rebellion against the echo chamber effect. It was her choosing to step out of the reactive loop, even for a moment, and to simply acknowledge what was happening inside. That's the power we're tapping into. It's not about eliminating difficult emotions. They're part of the human experience, but about changing your relationship to them. It's about understanding that these feelings are often just echoes, not present realities that demand immediate, often self-sabotaging action. This process of observation, this quiet acknowledgement is the foundation. It's how you begin to build a new internal landscape, one where your true desires can finally emerge, unclouded by the dust of the past. It's how you start to truly make the most of every minute, not by cramming more into your schedule, but by infusing each moment with conscious, intentional energy. And when you do that, you begin to protect your inner peace in a way that no external success ever could. This isn't just about feeling better. It's about making better decisions, building stronger relationships, and living a life that genuinely reflects who you are, not who you were told to be. But how do you solidify this shift? How do you move from momentary pauses to a sustained state of inner mastery? How do you ensure that these new choices become your default rather than the old echoes? This is where a simple yet profoundly powerful ritual comes into play. It's a daily practice designed to rewire those unconscious patterns, allowing you to choose consciously rather than react instinctively. And alongside it, a powerful anchor phrase, a statement of intent that will remind you in the present moment of the truth you've uncovered here today. This isn't about a quick fix, but about building a foundation of self so solid, so unshakable, that external validation becomes a bonus, not a necessity. The anchor phrase and the ritual are the keys to unlocking that lasting transformation, and they're waiting for you in the final moments of our conversation. Are you ready to claim them? And now, the moment you've been waiting for. The anchor phrase, a compass for your conscious choices, and the ritual that will solidify this profound shift. This isn't about a clever trick. It's about reclaiming your emotional sovereignty minute by minute. Remember that quiet paradox, that constant struggle to control the external while the internal ran wild? Here is the truth that cuts through the noise, a declaration to ground you in your power. My present emotional energy is my conscious choice. Repeat that, silently. Feel it. It's not a wish. It's a statement of ownership, a refusal to let the past dictate your present. It's the ultimate reframe, taking you from a reactive existence to a life of intentional creation. This phrase will be your anchor, a constant reminder that you possess the power to choose how you show up, how you invest your most valuable resource, your emotional energy. To truly embed this truth, we propose a simple yet profoundly transformative practice, the daily reflection ritual. This isn't about adding another chore to your already packed schedule. It's about dedicating just 5 minutes each morning to the most important meeting of your day, the one with yourself. For the next 21 days, commit to these 5 steps and watch as the echoes of yesterday begin to fade, replaced by the clear voice of your authentic self. Step 1. Find your quiet corner. Each morning, before the day's demands begin to pull you in 1,000 directions, find a space where you can be undisturbed. This could be by your kitchen window, on your porch as the sun rises, or simply a quiet corner of your bedroom. Make it a sacred space, even if just for 5 minutes. Step 2. Observe without judgment. Close your eyes, or simply soften your gaze. Take a few deep breaths. Don't try to change anything. Simply observe your emotional landscape. What feelings are present? Is there excitement, anxiety, calm, a familiar unease? Just notice them, like watching clouds drift across a vast American sky. No need to label them good or bad. Step 3. Ask the core question. With that observation, gently ask yourself, what emotional energy am I investing today, and is it serving my highest self? This isn't about seeking an immediate answer or a grand revelation. It's about planting a seed of conscious inquiry. Step 4. Resist the urge to solve. This ritual is not about solving problems in the moment. It's about building awareness, much like a successful person reviews their daily agenda, not to fix every item, but to understand what lies ahead. Let the question hang in the air. Step 5. Affirm your choice. Before you step into your day, silently affirm the anchor phrase, "My present emotional energy is my conscious choice. This simple act reinforces your intention to break the unconscious patterns of the echo chamber effect, allowing you to choose consciously rather than react instinctively to old triggers. This ritual is how you build a foundation of self so solid, so unshakable, that external validation truly becomes a bonus, not a necessity. It's how you cultivate inner peace and a clearer understanding of your true desires, unclouded by past projections and idealizations. This journey is about empowerment, not manipulation. It's about making the most of every minute of your emotional life. If you are ready to reclaim your emotional power, to truly step out of the shadows of yesterday and into the light of your own making, then type this exact phrase in the comments below. I am breaking the echo chamber effect. Let that be your public declaration, your commitment to yourself and to this new path. If this video has already turned a key for you, if you felt that flicker of clarity, then show your support. Like this video, subscribe to Dale Carnegie Life Lessons, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another insight that can truly transform your life. And if you know someone who needs to hear this message, share it with one specific person who you believe is ready for this shift. This is just the beginning. In our next Dale Carnegie Life Lessons video, we'll dive deeper into mastering emotional boundaries, how to protect your inner peace, exploring concrete strategies for setting limits that truly honor your value. That will appear on your screen now. And after that, we'll uncover the art of authentic connection, building relationships that last, revealing how to attract and cultivate bonds rooted in mutual respect, free from the distortions of the past. So the question isn't just if you're willing to step out of the shadows, but how far into your own light are you willing to walk?